Next, to Afghanistan, where the ruling Taliban are celebrating 3 years since their return to power. On the 15th of August 2021, the Taliban marched into the capital, Kabul, after the US-backed government collapsed. In the intervening years, the fundamentalist Islamist movement has consolidated its power while curtailing women's rights as the Afghan economy continues to weaken in the face of international isolation. Well, let's talk now to the journalist Shahzaib Wahlah, who's currently in Islamabad in neighbouring Pakistan. He covers Afghanistan quite a bit from there. Shahzaib, tell us first of all, how is this anniversary being marked this week in Afghanistan?
Well, today Taliban kicked off their celebrations marking 3 years since they took over the country. A military parade was held at a former US military base in Bagram, just 40 kilometers outside Kabul. We saw Islamic Emirates soldiers parading in both modern uniforms and also in traditional outfits, also marching in modern tanks and armored vehicles, which were handed over to the former Afghan Republic by the international forces, and the Taliban seized them after taking over the country in August 2021. The parade was attended by hundreds of people, including Chinese and Iranian diplomats. The acting Minister of Interior, Sirajuddin Haqqani, who's also the head of the Haqqani network, made a speech at the occasion congratulating the Afghan people on what he called gaining independence from aggressors. And he also urged the international community to cooperate with the Afghan government. For now, no country has recognized the Taliban government in Afghanistan. Other festivities and marches are being held in big cities like in Kabul and Kandahar, which is considered as the spiritual home of the Taliban. Additional security has been deployed in big cities where there are threats of attacks from the Islamic State group.
As I mentioned a little earlier, Shahzaib, you have covered Afghanistan quite a bit over the past couple of years. Just sort of sum up from your perspective, what strikes you most about how much this country has changed since the Taliban came back to power?
Well, one thing is that the security has improved since the end of Taliban insurgency and them assuming power in the country. The economics, but at the same time, the economic struggle of the Afghan population still continues. According to the UN, 1/3 of the country's 40 million population is in need of the help. The country is going through a severe humanitarian crisis, and aid groups have multiple times complained about the lack of international funding. The Taliban still continue to implement a strict version of Islamic Sharia in the country. They have imposed severe restrictions on women. Girls' education is banned from middle school onwards. They have also imposed strict dress codes for women to go out in public. And they have also made it mandatory for women to be accompanied by a male relative while traveling long distances. At the same time, there has been some positive changes in the governance as well. The country's currency has been stable. There isn't the overwhelming corruption in the government institutions that we used to see in the past. The tax collection has also improved. We have also seen that the Islamic Emirates has been able to establish de facto relations with regional countries like Pakistan, Iran, China, and Russia to boost trade. But the international community, especially Western countries, still remain reluctant to engage with the Taliban.
Shahzaib Wahlah talking to us there from Islamabad in neighbouring Pakistan. Thank you.